Welcome back, YouTubers, to my channel of an everyday countdown on the life of an Aspie. As you know, this is the series of the disability series that I'm getting more in depth right now to create an awareness, understanding, and obviously light and encouragement to you all, so that if you're working with people with different learning styles, techniques, and that will be a helpful, useful tool with my guidance and support through you all. As you know, further ado, like back in the piece, I was talking about briefly the gift of learning, how I was talking about the acronym BLIS, which I'll briefly remind you was B was for body, L was for linguistic or logical, I was for intellectual, or should we not intellectual as such, intrapersonal I should say, and the S was the special musical kind of style techniques. And all further ado now, I'm going to be talking about classroom management techniques, hopefully in two parts here, because obviously I'm running out of time on this. So, and all further ado, as you know, this is important so that a child knows what is expected of them. As I said like previously, we need to be creative, be drawn into these varied interests that, you know, kids show, be it emotional, with the emotional and social mind, as well as an open mind to what they learn is different to you lot, you know. The methods that I use, obviously, it comes into three methods parts here. There is content, which is what comes under that, and number one of the content is class option learns, backgrounds and experiences of the student, as well as the background and experiences of what maybe they've learned in a way of their past history, of their experiences, of what they may be through, may come into light to show out of what may be of interest to you, and of what they learned could be of value to you or just to them when they do learn from you. Number two, process. What I mean here is communicating in a different language. I'm not meaning communicating to a degree of a different language in a foreign language that we speak French to a child with a learning disability. Some child with a learning disability may, in fact, only regurgitate, or shall we say digest only, as well as not digest, but just, you know, meditate on the short words that you're saying. So maybe if you were to teach, maybe to speak little baby language for them to understand, as an example there. And last but not least, number three, product. Showing what they have learnt, sort of thing. This gives a student an opportunity of what they learnt from you, sort of thing, be it whatever it may be. Maybe they could do a speech or a revisionary essay for you of what they learnt, pretty much if you want it as an essay format or a report, or just give it something in general for them that they can just collab about and whatnot. Okay, as we know, basically with the management system, pretty much obviously how to cope with these differential instruction methods that I've said about is management system, which is medium, prep strategies, and two, processes. Okay, what I mean here is spur them on and meditate to the content for them to go further, to go the extra mile, to go over to the finish line, to complete, give praises when they do achieve to an extent of what they've done, even though it's good to have at least some form of encouragement and whatnot, so that we know where we're heading with our success, even though, like I said, some of our successes are slower than others, even though some people may be able to finish the finish line of their education sooner than others or later than others. Structure, content obviously is important in here for the management systems to be put into place, which can outline the lessons of what's going to be there today, what you're going to teach them, of the learning outcomes, and then maybe another form of learning outcomes is next piece in the class of what they need to be expected to learn, of the learning objectives, key definitions, maybe highlight the key definitions for them, or they can highlight them in colour format if they're like, you know, visual. They can also maybe add a few pictures from those learning outcomes that you've given to them. Also involve some physical content to their learning style methods for the ones that are, you know, hands-on, because obviously, you know, some people learn hands-on faster than others that are just, you know, visual readers or whatever the case may be. So yeah, another one is here, as I mentioned before, I think in part 2 was the word product of the classroom management. I could be wrong, bear with me guys while you've been following me. Okay, this one obviously covers, and the product in a way of it is, just for the last bit, is 1. Alternatives to master the material of learning, materials, study techniques, whatever it may be. Number 2 is, in this product, who they are and what they learn. Pretty much, a new teacher they have never met, basically, for example, and they don't know your teaching methods and style, or they don't know how they're going to go about their learning methods and style for whatever the reason may be. So they'll just do what they can. Grasping onto success, you know, as I said, praise, giving them high praises and whatnot. You know, grading themselves, obviously have a grading system in place. Like we know back in the days of school, my school, we have reports on based on our, you know, pass and failure rate, as well as basically, you know, how far we have come. Number 5 for this is connecting to what we learn. Information, grow and connect, obviously, you know, that's important. You know, we need to know basically what we are how we're connecting with the students, and maybe a progress report on that. Also, another one is journaling profiles, or just journaling in general for students in general, that, you know, get to know you and get to know themselves while they're doing their journal, because this is obviously a real good structure to create a relationship between you and the student as a teacher. This is like also a relationship builder, as I said, to get to know the student. Pretty much they can get to know themselves in a way that they can actually see their strengths, weaknesses, seeing, you know, maybe at the end of the year if they decided to keep that journal on hand, looking back on it thinking, oh yeah, maybe I could have done better in this area, or oh yeah, I've done majority of the work and I'm grateful for where I've come, you know. And then obviously, last but not least, when a student problem arises, be it in your teaching methods or just with the learning methods that the students are doing, pretty much be useful to time, be useful to actually be flexible around those people that has different learning styles and techniques with this learning disability, pretty much, and that all will end well. Well, this is ending basically the part 4 or 3 of basically the learning disabilities. It's pretty much series of basically, you know, shows how it's done. Please give me a like, pretty much with thumbs up, or just like for some support, and also comment below to engage with me that you are actually following me and actually maybe want some other form of technique. Do so if while you're watching these learning disabilities series, maybe share me your life stories with some students that you have come about if you want to, or just private message me in Facebook or YouTube or whatever sort of thing, and I can get back to you about that, you know, about it all. So no further ado, the last part hopefully will be just about the learning environment for people with learning disabilities, the importance of that, and how to, you know, come together in one with that student with the learning disabilities. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. Share the videos pretty much with your family and friends. Have a good day, and I'll see you soon.